Good Sunday morning, everyone. Welcome back to Weather with Sim again. I hope you guys are still having a great weekend so far. And in today's weather forecast, we're going to be going over the severe weather for the next couple of days. And like I said in the last video, we do have a cool down that's going to be moving through the eastern United States and especially the central United States as we do head into the last week of June. But we also do have some La Nina being expected, which those temperatures haven't really reached the La Nina territory yet because they're kind of just going up and down in the neutral phase. But we are expecting to do a La Nina, and I'll show you guys where the water temperatures are right now as we do talk about that. So we will definitely, keep you guys updated on that part, and of course stay tuned for more videos, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and of course hit that notification button down below so you are notified whenever I do videos or go live. So let's go ahead and first start off with today, and as you guys can see, we do have a slight risk for severe thunderstorms across the Dakotas, back into Minnesota, even up there into northeast Montana, still included in that slight risk for today. Main concern looks to be damaging winds, large hail, and perhaps a tornado or two being a possibility. There were some hatched risk when I last looked at this, so some hurricane force winds and even some very large hail will also be possible in the slight risk area. So if you do live in the slight risk, which is the yellow color, make sure to be on high alert and of course weather aware, as we will likely see some numerous thunderstorms capable of producing very large hail and of course some damaging wind gusts that could reach hurricane force. So definitely be aware of that if you do live in this area, and of course have your tornado action plan in place just in case, because the tornado threat is not zero. Now let's go ahead and look at tomorrow's threat. That is pretty much going to be for Monday, and as you guys can see, we do have a slight risk for severe storms again as we head into tomorrow, and this does include southeast Minnesota, back into northeast Iowa, southern Wisconsin, northern Illinois, northwest Indiana, and back into southwest Michigan will be included in a marginal to slight risk for severe thunderstorms as we do head into tomorrow. When I checked this is mainly just a damaging wind, large hail, and a tornado threat, so about what we could see today also. So if you do live in this slight risk for severe storms, which is pretty much this yellow color, please take it just as serious as how I want the folks over here to take it, as we could, be talking large hail, damaging winds, and perhaps an isolated tornado or two in this yellow color that you see. And then we got that pretty big marginal risk around that extend from the Mid-Atlantic all the way into the eastern Rockies. Now for day 3, as you guys can see, we got a widespread marginal risk for severe weather heading from the northeast all the way down towards the Rocky Mountains. That's the biggest marginal risk I have seen this year, and it kind of lines up with the Ohio River a little bit. So places like Maine, New Hampshire, Vermont, New York, back into Pennsylvania, Ohio, Indiana, central and portions there of southern Illinois, central Missouri, back into all of Kansas, even western Nebraska, back into southwest North Dakota, or South Dakota rather, and even into eastern Colorado will be included in this ginormous marginal risk as we do head into Tuesday. So definitely, be watching for some thunderstorms if you live in any of those areas I just pointed out. And this isn't really going to be a big time severe weather event, even though it looked like it kind of is because of how big the severe weather threat is. But it's definitely, a pretty big deal overall because, we could certainly be seeing a few severe storms. So definitely be watching for some storms and perhaps a severe storm or two if you live in any of those areas. Now, for the excessive rainfall outlook, as you guys can see, we do have a slight risk for flash flooding for today now, and they also extended that towards the lower Ohio Valley too as well. So definitely a different setup than what we saw last night, and we could certainly be talking a couple inches of rainfall around the Chicago area and even into just a little bit of northwest Indiana. So definitely be watching, for some heavy rainfall, if why not numerous showers and storms, as we could be talking some isolated flash flooding in this yellow shaded color. So definitely be watching for that. And same goes in this marginal color, not really going to be a big deal overall, but we could still be talking a few areas seeing about an inch of rainfall, and that will be the main concern for that green area. Now, for tomorrow, we do also have a slight risk for flash flooding for tomorrow, which will be for Monday. And this one actually includes the same area, but does include more areas. So places like southwest Michigan, back into northern Indiana, northern Illinois, southern Wisconsin, back into a portion there of eastern Iowa will be included in a slight risk for flash flooding for tomorrow too as well. So definitely also watch for numerous showers and thunderstorms if you do live in this area, which again will be for tomorrow. So definitely be doing the things that I do point out so that way you guys can stay safe. Now, for day 3, we actually have 2 slight risks for flash flooding, plus this marginal risk is pretty widespread, heading from almost New England all the way down towards the Rocky Mountains. So places like northwest Pennsylvania, northern Ohio, back into a little portion there of eastern Indiana will be included in that slight risk for flash flooding as we do head into tomorrow. We're a little bit more likely to see flash flooding as we do head into Tuesday, which I think, and I apologize if I said tomorrow, this is going to be for Tuesday this week. So if you guys, do have any plans for Tuesday in this area, like I said, watch for numerous showers and thunderstorms if you do live in the slight risk for flash flooding. And same goes for this other area across central and eastern Missouri back into southern Illinois. So definitely be watching for numerous showers and thunderstorms if you live in any of the slight risks. Now, let's go ahead and now take a look at the excessive rainfall outlook. And as you guys can see, this is pretty much from now all the way to July 24th. And as you guys can see, we still are expecting a ton of rainfall for places like the East Coast, back into the south and southeast, even towards the southern plains could be included in some pretty good rainfall. And again, those purple colors that you see could indicate around an inch of rain. Those maroon colors that you see indicate about 2 inches of rain, and then those yellow colors really indicate those extreme amounts of rain of around 4 inches. So definitely looking like we could see some pretty plentiful amounts across the south and southeast, and as well as portions of the East Coast, but also the Central Plains and the Southern Plains could even get on a lot of that activity too as well. Now, let's go ahead and look at the National Weather Service hazards. We haven't took a look at this for quite some time, so I thought I would show you guys this because there are a lot of watches and warnings out. And as you guys can see, we do have heat advisories and, of course, heat watches across parts of the East Coast, pretty much heading from Massachusetts all the way down into New Jersey and Pennsylvania for those heat advisories. And then we do have an excessive heat watch for central Massachusetts and even across northern and western Virginia, at least the western part of northern Virginia. And then we even have those heat watches continuing through the DC region and even into Delaware. We also do have some widespread heat advisories across places like like western Kentucky, southwest Indiana, all of Illinois, back into all of Missouri, even into southern Iowa, lots of Nebraska, back into southern South Dakota, even into eastern Colorado, back into all of Kansas, northern Oklahoma, parts of the panhandle of Texas, even into central Arkansas, will all be in a heat advisory for the next few days. So definitely be watching, the weather closely for excessive heat, as we could be seeing heat index as high as 105 degrees, and 105 degrees does meet the criteria for a heat advisory. So you'll definitely be feeling 105 degrees in some areas if you do live in this orange color. And then well back out to the west, we got a ton of excessive heat warnings still in effect for parts of California, but we especially have widespread fire weather warnings across all of Utah, back into southern Idaho, almost all of Nevada, back into portions there of California, into southern Oregon, and even parts of Washington will be included in those fire weather warnings, which are pretty unfortunate, okay? I mean, this is something we usually see this time of year, so don't be surprised to usually see these get issued. But, this at least tells you that you're not supposed to burn in any of these places out here. So definitely don't burn if you live in any of this pink shaded color out here, which again are those fire weather warnings, or else your fire will rapidly widespread and could even damage a whole city depending on how high those winds are. So definitely don't burn anywhere out here in the west. Now, let's go ahead and now take a look at the La Nina. Like I said at the end of the video, those water temperatures kind of been going up and down, as you can see, and haven't really gotten into that neutral phase. So below 0.4 is a neutral phase, and above 0.4 is also neutral phase. So pretty much in between 0.4 plus and 0.4 minus is that neutral phase, and we are still in it, as you can see. So definitely not seeing a La Nina yet, but the experts at the Climate Prediction Center do expect this to possibly drop below 0.4, if why not 0.5, which will be a La Nina as we head into August. That's about when we expect these water temperatures to drop into a La Nina, is as we head into August, which will be the most likely time frame for La Nina. So definitely something we really do need to be watching for as we do head into August. But we could even be seeing this neutral phase last even longer, because like I said, they've been going up and down for a really long time, and I'm very surprised they haven't gone down yet. Now, let's go ahead and finally look at those temperatures. It is going to be the highs for today. The highs look to be pretty rough, especially across the plains back into the south and southeast. We'll be talking those 100-degree temperatures across the south and southeast, but especially the central and southern plains, as we could be seeing over 100 degrees Fahrenheit in some areas, which is pretty unfortunate. The good news, though, is that we're starting to see this cold front move through. And that's why we are seeing, those 80s and even close to those lower 90s showing up. So we kind of do have a cold front moving through, like I said, bringing those 80s around, which is, again, good news. So we should definitely be enjoying the nice weather as that cold front starts to move through, which will be on Wednesday. That's when we'll really be seeing this whole area that I'm circling with my mouse in below average temperature. So definitely, start to enjoy the weather as we could see that. So thank you guys very much for watching. Hope you guys did enjoy this video. We will continue to keep you guys updated with more weather on this channel. not a whole lot of you guys have subscribed yet to my YouTube channel. So if you guys will please subscribe to my YouTube channel, that will help a lot. Plus, that will even help me make professional weather videos in the future. So definitely get ready for that. And also, don't forget to leave a comment down below. And like I said in the last two videos, something that would help me out a lot is if you guys would tell me which screen your guys' was your favorite, because I'm not sure if you guys like this setup. I wasn't sure if you guys liked the setup back in the other videos, and I'm not even sure if you guys like the setup at the very beginning of my YouTube channel. So depending on what setup you like, please leave that down below. And of course, like that video that I just posted, and also subscribe to my YouTube channel especially. And like I said, it will help me out a lot, so definitely do all those things. And I hope you guys have a great rest of your weekend.